Welcome back to Organization Psychology. We are going to see about types of leadership style. Throughout the history, great leaders have emerged with particular leadership styles in providing direction, implementing plans, and motivating people. These can be broadly grouped into different categories: authoritarian, participative, delegative, transactional, and transformational. So, what is the meaning of each leadership style? What is the difference between leadership style? What is the advantage and disadvantage? We are going to read. Okay. So first, authoritarian leadership style. It allows a leader to impose expectations and define outcomes. A one person show can turn out to be a successful in situations when a leader is the most knowledgeable in the team. Although this is an effective strategy in time constrained periods, creativity will be sacrificed since input from the team is limited. The authoritarian leadership style is also used when team members need clear guidelines. So it follows unity of command, unity of direction as per Henry Fayol's 14 principle. So it has advantages and disadvantages. Advantages: time spent on making crucial decisions can be reduced. So if they call for people to take decisions, that may take extra time. So time factor play a vital role in autocratic leader. Chain of command can be clearly emphasized. As I told earlier, unity of command, unity of direction, as clearly mentioned by the autocratic leader. Mistakes in the implementation of plans can be reduced. So if they have too many leaders and too many opinion suggestions, it may lead to confusion. So mistakes in the implementation of plans can be reduced. Using authoritarian leadership style creates consistent results. So, success and failure of this leadership style, that depends upon the single person, single leader who leads the team. So, it depends upon the characteristics of the particular person. So, in this picture, you could see the leader is always want to impose rules and regulations, always want to pose kind of instructions. So they want their employees to listen what he is instructing. So this is the main disadvantage of the autocratic leader. So you might have seen so many autocratic leader in politics and other field. Okay. So autocratic leader always wants their decision has to be implemented, and they always think they are right. They think that the subordinates have no brain. So always they want to implement their strategies, their rules, their opinion, everything. So they want the particular leader want others, that means subordinates, to follow his instruction. Okay, that's why they have autocratic style, and they want to improve productivity. Okay, next, participative leadership style. The essence is to involve team members in the decision making process. So participative leadership style are rooted in democratic theory. The team members thus feel included, encouraged, and motivated to contribute. The leader will normally have the last word in the decision making process. However, if there are disagreements within a group, it can be a time consuming process to reach a consensus. So, participative or democratic leadership style always welcome their subordinate to give their opinion and suggestion. So that's why it's called participate leadership style. So in management operations, they always expect employees to be the part of the team. So it makes the employee to feel proud about their opinion and suggestions. if they got implemented and if they got um, good reputation among the employees. So participative leadership style makes the employee feel better and it increases employee morale. So we have some of the advantages, that is it increases employee motivation and job satisfaction. So 2 weeks back we studied about this, the motivation and job satisfaction. So this will come only by the democratic leader. It encourages use of employee creativity. So always this kind of leader encourages the employee to give new ideas and opinion. So their creativity will go up. A participatory leadership style helps in the creation of strong team. So they will create a positive environment and high level of productivity can be achieved. So which makes employee to feel they are the part of the team, and also they work hard to acquire the goals of the organization. Okay, so it is very important in every organization to attain productivity and high level of employee morale. And it has some disadvantages. Decision making process become time consuming. Leaders have a high probability of being apologetic to employees. Communication failures can sometimes happen. Sometimes the poor decision making process may lead to failure. Security issues can arise because of transparency in information sharing. So poor decisions can be made if the employee are unskilled. So employee may be unskilled. So poor decision making can be uh, made by the unskilled employee. See this picture, you could see the manager always wants to get opinions and suggestions from the employee side. Okay, so next we are moving to delegative leadership. It also called laissez-faire. A delegative leadership style focus on delegating initiative to team members. So this is very common in USA companies. So USA companies, they have only this kind of leadership. It's to in the this style focuses on delegating initiative and creativity among team members. This can be a successful strategy if team members are competent, uh, take responsibility, and prefer engaging in individual work. However, disagreements among the members may split and divide group, leading to poor motivation and low morale. So the success and the failure of this leadership style may depend upon the nature of the employees and depends how far they are competent in giving their suggestion and implementations. Okay, it has some kind of advantages and disadvantages. See, in this picture, the employees build their organization. So it is very important uh, to build their organization with wholehearted, with satisfied in job. So advantages have experienced employees can take advantages of their competent and experience. Innovation and creativity is highly valued in delegative leadership. Delegative leadership creates a positive work environment and it has some kind of disadvantages. Command responsibility is not properly defined. Sometimes, I mean, the employee lack of command over what they are going to implement. And delegated leadership creates difficulty in adapting to change. If they follow something for so many years, if they have been following for so many years, so it is very difficult for them to switch over to new strategy. So delegate leadership creates some kind of difficulties in change, adapting to change. It creates resistance to change. So so first one, autocratic, democratic, free reign. So autocratic leader plays an important role. In democratic, leader and subordinate play the important role. In delegative, employee or subordinate play an important role in management process or operations. Okay, so one more session we have. In that we are going to see about transactional and transformational. Okay, don't go anywhere, please wait.